Friends from the media, welcome to the regular press conference of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. First, I have an announcement to make. At the invitation of the Minister of Political Bureau of the CPT Central Committee and Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Saudi Arabia Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud will pay an official visit to China from June 30th to July 1st. CCTV. As the death toll and injuries caused by the devastating earthquakes in Venezuela continues to rise, what disaster relief assistance has China provided to the country? China is closely following the severity of the earthquakes in Venezuela. President Xi Jinping sent a message of condolences to acting President Dixie Rodriguez over the disaster. In addition to cash assistance that China has provided to Venezuela, the Chinese government has decided to provide emergency supplies worth of RMB 100 million as donations that will be soon delivered to Venezuela in support of its disaster response and reconstruction efforts. China also provided satellite imageries to the quake zone for disaster response operations. Chinese companies and associations of overseas Chinese in Venezuela voluntarily provided urgently needed machinery and medical supplies and set up rescue teams to actively search for survivors. China stands ready to offer more support as the disaster response progresses. Next question, please.
NHK, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce, announced today that some Japanese entities will be included in the export control list. Previously, the Commerce Ministry said that the measures will not affect normal economic and trade exchanges between China and Japan. But Japanese economic groups said that even in the civilian sector, Japanese companies' rare earth purchase has been affected. How does the Foreign Ministry view this measure? How does China evaluate the impact of this measure on the normal economic and trade exchanges between China and Japan?
The competent authority has made an announcement and made China's position clear. Let me stress that it is fully justified, legitimate, and lawful for China to take these measures, which aim to containing Japan's reckless moves of neo-militarism. We hope Japan will turn back from the wrong path, correct its erroneous words and deeds, do serious soul-searching, and go back to the right track of peaceful development. China's decision to place entities on this list, taken in accordance with the law, targets only a small number of Japanese entities. The relevant measures target only the dual-use items and will not affect normal business exchanges between China and Japan. Japanese entities have no need to worry as long as they operate in good faith and in compliance with the law. Next question, please.
Good afternoon. A question from Telesur. You already speak about the aid that China will send to Venezuela, but also in the last week, you said that the Red Cross Society of China will send help. We would like to know, to clarify, what kind of assistance the Red Cross Society will send, and also the President Xi Jinping said that they could also provide reconstruction efforts to Venezuela later. So what kind of details you have, if you have, about the reconstruction efforts that China government is offering to Venezuela? Thank you.
I have answered similar questions before. According to the situation in the earthquake, the Chinese government and relevant associations will provide needed assistance. As I have introduced, based on the assistance that we have provided, we would like to provide emergency material assistance worth 100 million RMB. It will be used as response to the earthquake, but also the reconstruction after the earthquake. Next question, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Thank you. Question from AFP. Australia and Vanuatu signed an economic and security agreement today that prohibits the establishment of any foreign military base on the Pacific Island nation's territory. Australian officials have previously expressed concern that China is seeking an expanded security presence in the region, including in Vanuatu. So does the Foreign Ministry have any comment on this agreement today?
中方始终秉持相互尊重、平等相待。
China believes in openness, mutual support, and China has conducted all cooperation in all areas with the Pacific Island countries. We hope that relevant countries can cooperate with those countries that are conducive to the stability and development of the regions. It should not target any third party or use this opportunity to play geopolitical games.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
Hi, a follow-up on the Australia and Vanuatu agreement. China and Vanuatu is also slated to sign an agreement, a strategic cooperation pact. And would you know when this will be signed? And the Prime Minister of Vanuatu has said that the text of the deal with China would be released once it is signed in the interest of transparency. Does China agree with releasing the deal text? And should the text of the deal with the Solomon Islands also be released? Thank you.
关于你的第一个问题，
For your first question, China's cooperation with Vanuatu is based on mutual support, equal consultation, mutual benefit, and openness. China will, based on the need and willing of Vanuatu to carry out mutually beneficial cooperation in all areas so to benefit the two peoples. On your second question, China's cooperation with Pacific Island countries are open and it is imposed and does not target any third party and is widely welcomed by the people in the island countries. As usual, on the basis of friendly cooperation, we conduct the consultation on the bilateral treaties. Next question, please.
Hi, another question from Bloomberg. This one on Japan. Tokyo's top government spokesman has said that China Coast Guard activity in Japan's exclusive economic zone south of Yonaguni Island and territorial claims on those waters is unacceptable. What is the Foreign Ministry's comment? Thank you.
中方已经多次
China has made its serious position clear for many times. We would like to reiterate that China has exclusive economic zone and continental shelf to the east of Taiwan Island. The relevant activities of China's authority is legitimate and there is no room for finger pointing. Japan and the Philippines bypassed China and started the so-called maritime delimitation, and that violated the UNCLOS and other international maritime law, but also the basic norms governing international relations that seriously infringe upon China's maritime rights and interests. China firmly opposes that. Next question, please.
And one last question on Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko's visit. We're wondering if you have any more information and whether this was the last-minute visit. Thank you.
今天上午，国
This morning, President Xi Jinping met with Belarusian President Lukashenko in Diaoyutai. The readout has been released by China. You can stay tuned. Our two countries are all-weather strategic comprehensive partners, and we have fruitful outcomes in Belt and Road and cooperation, and the key programs have enjoyed progress. It is proven by the facts that deepening our comprehensive cooperation is in line with the general trend of history and also the fundamental interests of our two peoples. China is willing to build a community with shared future with humanity with Belarus, to strengthen the coordination and the cooperation with multilateral platforms and be the forces for stability in this turbulent world. Next question, please. Any other questions? This concludes today's news briefing. Thank you.